And here we go, aka Powders. Streaming at night, people. Every single day, I tell myself, go on at midnight. Hopefully, this is the beginning of a show that fires my imagination, that inspires me, that inspires you, and it just keeps all of us going. This show keeps all of us going. And what is it exactly? Well, we're fighting a war to maintain traditional comic book inking that is done with black ink and a brush, and that's all we're using. Now, today we might use one or two brushes of different sizes. We have a 4 round and a 3 liner or a 3 thin. No crow quill right now, but previously I've been trying to do as much of this Rob Liefeld piece as possible live. But I just want us to kind of keep going. So we're going to finish this dark side, and when we're done with this dark side, we may restart it with this one here. But we do have another Kirby piece. And please excuse me, everyone. I can spend all my time just organizing my papers, or I can, just keep going and deal with it incrementally. I need this one. I'm looking for, here we go. So this will be also, I kind of want to start this one now, but I'm going to wait. Now, the goal here always is to do this for as long as we can. No joke, for as long as we can. So it might be 1 hour, might be two. I would love to wrap this up at around 3 o'clock in the morning, then get another 3 hours of sleep, wake up at 6, work out, and then hit the office. That's what I would like to do for my Friday. Maybe drop a video, record a video between then. And what we have here is the King of Comics, 125 Top Talents, Jack Kirby's Heroes and Villains from Pure Imagination. You gotta love the name of that publisher. Black Magic Edition, a who's who of Jack Kirby's greatest creation. So this is a double resource. It is a good resource on some of the oddball Jack Kirby creations, but it's also a resource of the people of the time, because here we have Peter Laird and Jack Kirby, who Peter Laird from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has always had a very Kirby style. You see it, outside of some of his Turtles work, like his stuff, his Jack Kirby inspiration or influence just comes like he can hit the Kirby notes. But we get guys like Dane Panosian, another Eastman, Al Gordon. So part of Joe Sinat. So part of my revelation, Paul Smith, was I did a video on this a while ago, a couple of years ago, Walt Simonson, and I really just realized some of these quote unquote luminaries didn't quite understand how to ink Jack Kirby. And for a long time, I longed to test my mettle, to test my abilities in inking Jack Kirby. So that's why we're making this into a series. And this Dark Side piece here is just the beginning. We're trying to do as much live as possible. That's always the goal. But we're also going to try and do as much as possible. So that doesn't mean everything's going to go good. Everything's going to be live. I'm kind of in the mood to ink this one too, and maybe do something a little bit different with this one. But yeah, let's just keep going. Let's begin. Anyone that's out there, thanks for hanging out. We got Alex Hogg over here chiming in. What is up, Alex, my boy? Looking sweet. Cheers to you. So usually by the length of these streams. The longer the stream goes, the more people roll in. I don't know. I'm hoping to get, I guess, people on the West Coast, California time, since it's somewhat somewhat of a decent time there. It's not quite midnight yet. It's 12 midnight here. And then I guess, as time goes on, we'll get more Cali and more international people rolling in. So let's maybe tonight too. We make some new friends. Let's just do it. Let's ink. The Jack Kirby Dark Side 2 is it's just one of the best. I love his Dark Side. Would I say like he's drawn the greatest Dark Side? That's kind of debatable. Just because you've had guys like John Byrne and Walt Simonson draw pretty good Dark Sides. But it's there. Like I do feel like even like the Sam style Dark Side, I absolutely love because it kind of just looks like a Kirby drawing. But yeah, let's just ink. Let's see what the heck happens. Got my tablet running. I kind of like things to run in the background a little bit too while I work. If I'm live streaming, it's muted, but I usually put on things like visual. I have 80 and 90s anime running right now. So some of this we're going to need already. We're going to need a thicker brush. Because we do want to get some squiggles. But yeah, it's just fun sometimes to challenge yourself like on this level. I just think it's a part of the growth. And they kind of just be loose enough to not care the level of the mistake you might make. Like meaning make a mistake, like move on, make a mistake, move on, make a mistake, move on. You have to kind of develop that attitude when you ink because nothing you ink is going to be correct. I mean, you concentrate, you spend so much time with even like a particular line. Like it's just tricky. Like you see things that normal people do, and that's the strength of traditional comic book inking. Because it's like another pair of eyes in the artwork. It's good to have a kind of people pencil and they work. They you eliminate like another check, like another balance to it all. And the inker, like a lot of times, would come in and correct Uh, yeah, your job is to correct what the penciler didn't do. Yeah, and some of it's due to deadlines, due to timing, all kinds of good reasons. Yeah. Even sometimes things just don't get communicated, which is why I absolutely love movie adaptations. Because you really see what doesn't get communicated with the movie adaptation. But when you do it all yourself, like you do kind of, like you put yourself a little bit more at risk. I think it's good. I think it's strong to have an anchor with the intention of double checking the penciler's accuracy. Here we go. Yeah, I just think it's fun to jump on at night and get to some of this stuff, like the glory of the internet, right? And I hope you guys enjoy Philadelphia skyline over here. It looks like it's taking a little bit to pick up, doesn't it? Connection wise. Excuse me, everyone. I believe we have a cat scratching the rug outside. Give me a second, but cheers. I'm grabbing myself a little sippy sip. Wow, already 16 minutes in. Feels like 5 minutes. What's up, buddy? What are you doing? You scratching? Huh? You can't do that, bud. You can't do that. Okay. It's good to see you. Good to see you trying to stretch those claws. We have a recovering Diamond Dallas cat. He had a little bit of a GI issue a couple of days, and it was chaos. We actually thought it was cancer. We thought we were going to lose him, but guess what? He's here. And the trick is to, with the blue line, kind of, you stain it in, and the blue line disappears. So it's an old trick, which is why a lot of people, animators and comic artists, adopted using blue line pencils, because it scans, uh, you know, like you can zap it optically, but then when it comes to the comic book side, you save time erasing, and erasing comic pages can be a task. Trust me. So we got some wet spots here. We're just trying to avoid. But we're doing pretty. We're making some good, definitely some good progress here. Yo, Icky, dude, Icky. Oh my god, I'm such a DICK dude. I love that Ben Dunn piece. The highlights, the yellowish highlights you had, kind of like the moonlight. Uh, really, that's the direction I've been waiting to see you start. How is dude? What are you doing? Don't you got work tomorrow? What's going on over there? I think the top of his head here a little bit too. I don't know if it's coming through. Not 100% on it. So some of this too, it's like kind of rhythm with the style, which is why it pays to kind of work with particular style. Like like if you're someone, it's not like you can just kind of like pick up anyone. You have to spend time with the penciler because again, there's a lot of it is predictive, and you have to know what the intent is. And talked about this before. Off tomorrow. Here we go. Very nice, dude. Good to have you. Yeah, yeah. We'll be working. Are we working on working on commission or anything cool? Or the block? Let's see here. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out a little bit of what we have here when it comes to his like helmet. We are breaking some stuff. We're taking a little bit of a liberty here just because it's confusing. But we're taking it and we're just using the opportunity to add just like another texture piece. See, like something that the graphite pencil may have done. So some of this it doesn't look right when I see it. There we go. A lot better. There you go. So this line, like see that thickness here? Like this thickness should be over here. So that's a little bit of like the back and forth. Sometimes you're going to nail it, sometimes you're not. It does help to know the penciler. Here we go. We're getting there. Ah. Oh, nice. Good call. So what you penciling? Those Gators gotta get published. Here we go. So some of this too is Like before you start laying down the line, it's good to visualize it. Like try and see what that line will do in your head as you are messing around with it. And it helps you be less hesitant. So it is kind of like if you your Suicide Squad, Will Smith makes a triangle, Phil Jackson, uh, Chicago Bulls, or Los Angeles Lakers reference about the triangle offense. And to further that, to kind of further the Phil Jackson stuff is, he was big on visualizing, like pre-visualizing games. Like he would sit his athletes down in the locker room, and he would kind of walk them through the game because he believed, I guess he still does believe deeply in seeing things before you do them. And I do think there's so much of that echoes in the visual arts where it's good to kind of to have it working in your head to a large degree. And then, once it's in your head, like it takes practice to get it out. And then eventually, uh, like your hand works as quickly as your brain. And that's kind of where that opens up a window of coming up with new things, like things that people have not seen. And that's a trick. And again, this is why you kind of do push back against digital art. Some digital people, who are kind of disciplined with tablets and then stuff like that, are like they do develop a little bit of a muscle for it. But I do feel like you kind of have to go both ways. You have to be into the tablet as your sorry, we are just trying to get a little bit of separation. Here we go. See, like, and we're duplicating that quick graphite there. Yeah, going through the. Oh, dude, yeah, and if we are, I'm just about, dude, I think I'm 25 pages into the TBF coloring, which is like almost like the initial run of the story before I kept adding to it. So, which is kind of cool because the way how I saved some of my file batches, I have them in like sequences of when I worked on them. So, I get to kind of see the whole thing like transform through the coloring. But it's dude, it's getting there. And then soon I will be doing like, the final sit down cleanup stages of some of those pages. And that's where I'll get back to the Indiegogo updates and everything. So, and hopefully leading into issue book two. Hope maybe we'll see, but hopefully. So let's just do some. I don't know about some of this thing here. Hmm. I don't know. I'm not crazy over this right here, but that's probably why we're going to do this piece twice. But I would say as of now, we're looking done. I think there's some Kirbyisms, that's for sure, right? There's some Kirbyisms, but not enough. All right. I think we're there a little bit. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'm just the there's a lot of, I'll say, like, internal debate with the color flow of TBF, and I'm still kind of struggling with the colors to sing, like, to kind of identify like different areas and stuff like that. Because it's I want it all to be um like a value change. Yeah, like just from the colors alone, I want people to know like what location, like, and where they are within the story. So yeah, like it's work. Like you go back and forth a lot. You do a whole panel and you delete it and you recolor it, and that's a lot of my process just to kind of nail uh what we're doing with the actual panels. Like it's that because to me, if it's going to be in color, like the color kind of starts to take over. All right, so we're good here. So we got some of that right there. All right, so I think we're in halfway decent shape. I think we might cycle back to that, but let's get to this. Some more dark side. We got dark side with some people here. What are we doing with that, Jack? Lot of black. Lot of black. But challenge accepted, Mr. Kirby. Challenge accepted. Let's just get into it. There we go. It's like that quickly. Yeah, we get some funky shapes here. And I think it's just more. there's like a blending of some of these blacks here. Like some of them are form, and some of them are the design element for the background. The hold up here. Here we go. Yeah, and this is where like we let the Kirby side like win. We let the Kirby like really come through with stuff like this. Yeah, and it seems like sometimes the more loose he is, it's just like again, like it's so intimidating because there's so many micro choices for what's correct. And this is where like so a lot of times, like thinking wise, you would if this was like the original, you would like maybe erase Orion's hand here and redraw it. But this is not like right. This is Orion, Icarus, and Darkseid. So this is like not like a published piece. Also, this is like a he most likely drew this originally for someone, either as a commission or like a gift. So like some of these forms may not be perfect because it was not intended to be published or seen. You get lucky sometimes with those quick lines. Sometimes you do, and that's kind of like the feast or famine when it comes to doing anything with Kirby. I would say even if you're coloring Kirby, like like you're going to um like hit your mark, and then like a lot of times you are not, and that has nothing to do with the skills of the colorist. It just has like a lot to do with there's almost just like a trial and error period where um like like your skill level keeps you at a certain um like speed. Like your stuff's gonna look good because you know what you're doing. But then there's like the elements of getting it right. And that's the intimidating part about Kirby. Because I'll take it further. I don't think a lot of modern day colorists would be able to color Kirby very well, especially if they don't have Kirby. I mean, just like giving, uh, like handing Kirby off to someone that may not be familiar with Kirby. Yeah, I think that's the true test. I mean, we're making some quick progress in this, which is good. But here it's like you kind of want to definitely want to shape some of the torso here. So like here, so we're just going to put. Let me just get this in there. So up here, let's just get back to here. So there, and then here we'll use. Again, take advantage of the shape of the torso, or like whatever. But like always look for opportunities to do contour lines. It's just I don't want to say it's a cheap trick, but it's a trick. Like to really give form to something that may not normally. Sorry, we're just here just trying to think through some of these shapes. Like doubling up some squiggles. Here we go. Again, like you just want as much of the weirdness like as possible. So like however you can preserve it, like, you keep looking for it. Like line by line, you're just like looking at it with a microscope. But eventually, if you're a penciler or like finisher, like your personal style is going to come in, but you have to find ways to like fight it off. All right. Making a baby progress. I butchered that. He had two nice curved lines there. Botched. That's a botch. It's like nothing enough. This is interesting. The blacks on this are so interesting. Give me 1 second. I have to check my phone for just remembered a little thing. Let's see here. Like some of this too is just kind of like talk it through or talk it out. Like you do want some blacks popped in there as you work along, just to know what you are dealing with for the rest of the piece. So what's kind of like the messed up position now is that I'll be doing that in what primarily is the focal point of the piece. Like would be nice to do it with like the hands or like the shadows underneath the fingers and the starry. It's all right though. Like, let's just kind of again like keep going. Let's just see what happens. Yeah, see, some you tell immediately that's what it's working. So this is going to be the real test right here. The way how Orion's forearm just goes like it melds Like the shadow of the form melts into the black mass. A lot of this makes me switch to the 4 round brush here. But we are seeing it come to life. Right? I don't think we can argue with that. It's hard to imagine what this one here is really going to look like. Yeah, and it really just goes to show you how, like, inking, it really forms the pencils into something else. Let's see, like, what is it like this? Because oh, that's part of Darkseid's, glove. Alright, we're making some sense of this along the way, which is good. There we go. I mean, we're oof. It's like you go back and forth. It's like now it's like spend too much time with the blacks. But this is really just kind of like I am realizing that this is more or less just like an exercise on um shapes and just like mass where like even here like where Ryan's head is there's like a clear shadow coming from maybe like the burst up here, but then it just blends right into the chest of dark side, and it's just all very like abstract. But we're definitely getting there. All right, everyone, give me a couple seconds. Let me go and check on the cat. And cheers. Get yourself, everyone, get yourself something to drink. All right, here we go. All right, AK Packers. So sorry, gotta get going. Sorry to leave you hanging. Gotta take care of the little guy of the cat. I will do my best to return in a timely manner, but and I also feel like I just need to chip away at this. I think we're kind of there, right? We got a couple smudges, but we made progress. That's the important thing. All right, guys, I love you. Rock and roll.